If you watch our show very often, you'll know the answer to this question. By reputation, which state has the biggest crappie in America? I'm standing in that state right now. We're going to explore some new territory in the next half hour and show you some great techniques for catching crappie. Glad you're along with us. Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
The answer to the question from elementary school, it's Mississippi, Mississippi. We are standing in the Magnolia State, coming to you today from Crappie Corridor. Now, what is that? Crappie Corridor is a string of some of the best crappie lakes in America along I-55 that begin in northern Mississippi at Lake Sardis, then down to Enid, then to Grenada and Washington, and finally where we are right now. We are coming to you from just outside Jackson, Mississippi, and this is beautiful Ross Barnett Reservoir. We're going to go out today with a little guide help from a couple of professional crappie fishermen that are friends of mine, explore some new territory, and just maybe give you some techniques that may help you catch some crappie this coming weekend where you live. And while we're out doing that, we're going to be taking you around your local region for your fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters from lakes, rivers, and bays right where you live, both fresh and saltwater. So right now, the beautiful Nitro Z20 turns into a pro crappie boat. It goes down the boat ramp and we get things started back at the FSN studios with your weekend planner.
It looks like both days of the weekend will offer fair fishing conditions. The lunar tables are indicating peak activity will take place roughly around sunrise in the mornings and again in the evenings at 5:47 on Saturday and 6:45 on Sunday. Look for the sun to rise at 6:26 and set at 8:22. And evenings will feature a moon that is 23% visible. Stay with us for freshwater and coastal fishing information from around the region. Plus, I'll return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Jacob Wheeler for this week's Ask the Pro question. We're coming right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than a boat, it's a tracker. Mercury Outboards, go boldly. Lowrance and the new Hook 2, the world's easiest fish finder. And Louisiana Travel. Plan your fishing trip at louisianatravel.com.
I want you to look how much he choked that jig all the way down in that fish's throat. He wanted it. Well, we got a little wind, got a little dingy water, got 4 rods out, and there's a bite. I don't think you got it. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. There's a fish. Oh, a good one too. There we go. There's a way to get it started. Come up here, buddy. Oh, he's pulling my long pole. Come up here in that net. There we go. We got a start anyway. All right, well, we are on beautiful Ross Barnett today, and there's a start. There's my first Ross Barnett crappie. Right there. I want you to look how much he choked that jig all the way down in that fish's throat. He wanted it. Well, let me set the stage for you and get this. This is going to break my heart because we're not going to be keeping crappie today. We're on a long road trip. I'm doing some shows, and so this is the day this one should bite because he gets to be released today. So we're going to put that fish right back in there and away he swims. And I want to tell you that Ross Barnett is about a 33,000 acre, big, long, open-bodied lake. It's a fairly shallow reservoir. Max depth is probably 30-35 feet, but the average depth is 10 or 12 feet. So it's mostly shallow, but the cool thing about this lake, it's got tons of structure. It's got oxbows, creek channels, river channels, humps, ridges, points. And that's what makes it such a good lake. I will tell you that you can kind of see here, the water looks a little dingy, it looks brown almost. But that's really not mud, it's just kind of a stain, and you can actually see 8-10 inches down in the water in that plenty for a crappie. So I've got my spread out here. I'm gonna talk some more about what I'm doing here, but I'm spider rigging to start with here.
Well, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so I'm gonna let these tell you what's been happening in and around Oklahoma over the past several days. Here's John Bond with a nice crappie at Grand Lake, Jake Byram at Fort Gibson, Leon Mears, Keystone, Gary Rowe, Fort Gibson, Austin Cranford with a 14-pound giant at Arbuckle, Red Miller, Lake Hula, brothers Jeff and Bill Blackburn from Texas fishing with crappie guide Mike Scarborough at Broken Bow, and also fishing with Mike Dwight Bronk Martin, targeting and catching his very first walleye. Mike Taylor, Grand Lake, Larry Morphew catching the new state record paddlefish, 132.5 pounds above Keystone in the Arkansas River. Grandsons Rob Dollahan and Archer Myers, each with a really nice pond bass. Nicholas Chrysler caught his first crappie ever fishing with Beaver Lake guide Roger Cravens there in Arkansas. And our good friend Timmy Williams caught him good with his dad at Lake Conowal recently. These pictures tell you what's happening. You can catch them in Oklahoma, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
There he is, fish on. Got one. All right. Oh yeah, that's a decent crappie. Oh, he's a splasher too. Come here, I'm just gonna pull him in. Okay, crappie on board. There we go. It's a nice one. That may be a black crappie. I'm not an expert at telling my crappie, but he's got those black speckles on him. Most of the crappie you catch in Ross Barnett are white crappie, unless you go up the river, according to the locals and the guides. But that's a nice one right there. Just a good Ross Barnett keeper crappie. He's not getting kept today though. Back he goes. And let me tell you something, that's a good solid crappie, and that's just the average fish for here. Got one. Good, 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 good. Drifting down through here, spider rigging. Oh, that's another decent fish. Come up here, buddy. Get in my net. Get in my net. All right. Well, we're still out here on beautiful Ross Barnett, and let me tell you something, that's a good solid crappie, and that's just the average fish for here. I will tell you that if you come to Mississippi crappie fishing, here's the jig. I'll show you all the setup. Later on, I'll show you all the gear. But if you're coming to Mississippi fishing, you've got your choice between all these different lakes. The biggest ones traditionally live in the oxbow lakes like Washington, and also live in Grenada. Those are your biggest crappie. Those crappie can go easily over 3 pounds. Here at Ross Barnett, 2.5 is really kind of the upper limit. There are some 3-pounders in here that get caught occasionally, but not like up at Grenada and not like at Washington. So if you're just looking for more numbers and just some good solid fish, then Ross Barnett is definitely a good place to come. There's just a good average size fish, good keeper. You can keep 30 of these a day, by the way. So there's no size limit on them, no lower size limit. So really you can keep any size that you catch, but you can keep 30 of them a day if you can catch that many. If you catch it on a good day, you could catch that many here. All right, we're going to release that fish. We're going to put that beautiful baby back in that beautiful sunshine right there. And away she goes. One thing you can see I am doing is I'm quadrupling my chances here. I've got these spreads out with my rod holders. And area that I'm fishing, in fact, I want to show you just a quick shot on my Lowrance Elite TI. It's my big 12-inch unit here. It gives me great clarity, great in the bright sunlight like we have today, but you can see all the bottom contour here, and I'm fishing a ledge, a drop off, and you can see some of these waypoints that I've got marked down here. It's where it drops from about 7 feet to about 12 feet, and it's just a ledge down through here, and it's got a lot of brush and stumps and a lot of cover on it. Right now I'm just gently spider rigging these jigs right across the tops of that brush, trying to keep the jigs just above the brush so they don't snap.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you once again by Fiberworks Marine Collision. When you want the work done right, you want it done fast to perfection, Fiberworks is your only choice. Now this week we're going to start with those of you that like to catch catfish, and we're going to go out to Lake Palestine, where you'll find them up in the upper end of the lake. The key is channels from 8 to 12 feet deep, and fish the flats adjacent to those channels that have lots of timber. For blue cat guys, try Eagle Mountain Lake. The fish are up shallow, 2 feet or less, and you'll use your live and cut baits there. And for you crappie fishermen at Lake of the Pines, the crappie who've moved out of the creek channels and they're setting up on their permanent summer homes on those brush piles. You'll want to travel the lake, mark several brush piles, then go back and start dropping your crappie rigs with minnows or crappie jigs down on those brush piles for your Lake of the Pines crappie. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Fiberworks Marine Collision, when good enough just isn't good enough. Be sure and check us out on Lone Star Lakes on Facebook.
Hey, Captain Greg Verm here with this week's Fox Southwest Outdoors Report. Hey, just got off the phone with Captain Bill Watkins over on Sabine Lake. He said the water clarity has improved slightly, but the northwest winds are keeping the lake a little bit off color. Captain Bill did say he's targeting the north levee wall real early, popping some real quality specks. Mirror lure Little Johns and pretty much any soft plastic with a yellowtail has been his most productive baits. Captain Bill also said they're catching a lot of specks along the surf. I'm going to tell you, surf action has been hot along the entire upper Texas coast, which is going to bring me down to Matagorda with Captain Charlie Paradowski. He just told me both east and west Matagorda is fantastic right now. For those live shrimp under a popping cork type fishermen, go drift East Bay. For those wanting to go wade fish, go west. Soft plastics, top waters, and corkies are all working. When the wind is out of the north, you guessed it, go hit that surf. Hey, I talked to Captain Kyle Burgess over in Port Aransas. He said they're catching redfish on Cut Manhattan on the grass flats. They're catching speckled trout also on live croaker or 5-inch bass assassin on the grass flats. He said the best color he's been having is bone diamond in the bass assassin. Also here in Freeport and Galveston, fishing has been awesome. If you want to fish inshore, deep sea, or go nighttime flounder gigging, call the number on your screen or check out our website. Also, we have our kids' summer fishing camps coming up. Give me a call. Got all kind of information for you. Hey, I'm Captain Greg Verm. I'll see you next time.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Lou's. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland. We know bass and crappie from heads to tails. And by Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades.
If you stick it out all day and you hang in here till the very end, there is no telling what might happen. And look at this. We're on Ross Barnett Reservoir today, just outside Jackson, and just in case you were wondering, the reservoir was named Ross Barnett for a former governor of Mississippi, Ross Barnett, and I don't know what you got to do to get a reservoir named after you, but he did. Here's a fish. Got him, got him. Come up here. Not a big one. Not a big one, but we'll take him. Come here. Got him. Now you flop. Well, we've just caught some just good average sized fish like that today. Not keeping them, but we could get a pretty good mess of fish going today if we were. Back that one goes. How do you know whether to spider rig or long line? What dictates that is how finicky or how aggressive the fish are. If you can long line, you can move and cover a lot more water, trail back and forth, and catch more fish that way. But if they're finicky, we had a cold front or a little cool front come through yesterday and drop this water temperature a little bit, and it shut them off a little bit, so I'm having to slow down. But you let the fish dictate that. couple of other things about Ross Barnett. What you're seeing here is the big bowl, the open part of the lake, and you may look at this and go, man, that looks boring. Well, there are some very non-boring places in this lake. You can go up on the other side of the 43 bridge above it, and that's where the Pearl River starts. And there's just miles and miles of lily pads and grass beds and river channels and creeks coming in. So it does not all look like this. But there are some crappie out here, and we're just having to slow, patiently peck around and catch one or two here and there.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Louisiana Outdoor Report. I tell you what, we're going to talk freshwater and saltwater, so we're going to make it a quick one. Let's go to Toledo Bend right now. White perch are moving to the deeper brush piles, live minnows in 25, 30 feet of water key. Bluegill, they're bedding up real shallow. Live crickets, live worms doing the best there. Bass fishing, deep points, 12 to 18, 20 foot of water. Texas and Carolina rigs are working. Tell you what, on the saltwater scenes, you can see right here, had a good group of guys in the last couple days. We caught these redfish down at our Gulf jetties on live shrimp. Some of them under a popping cork, some of them fishing it kind of like a Carolina rig. Basically right now, the fish are starting to get into the summertime pattern. So get out on the water, go fishing, bring a kid fishing. I tell you what, if y'all want to make a trip, you can give us a call. Cajun Phil or Captain Kevin and Cajun Paradise Lodge and Charters. Till next week, happy fishing and may God bless.
Got one more crappie for you, and we have fished the day away, folks. It has been a long day. We've managed to catch a few on our very first ever trip to Ross Barnett. And believe it or not, oh, that's a big old crappie right here. And I have already put the net away, if you can believe it. And I'm gonna have to do some stuff here to see if I can land this fish. So there he is. And let's see if I can land him without losing him right here. Lip him like you lip a bass. Look at that big old pig. We caught ourselves a whopper. Well, you know, it's funny. I was just telling Lance, who's shooting camera for me today and who guides on this lake, by the way, that if you stick it out all day and you hang in here till the very end, there is no telling what might happen. And look at this. That is a big old giant Ross Barnett crappie. Look at the belly on that fish. Just about the time that I thought we were all done and we're losing daylight. Sun's already gone down and I caught that big boy right there. Literally, I was breaking the rods down, putting everything up, and just a good lesson for you. You never know what might happen if you hang in here. But this one gets to go back. Not keeping them today, of course. That's a good, solid, close to a 2-pound crappie right there, and away that one swims. Beautiful.
You can always watch our latest episode on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Catch up on past episodes by clicking the archive button and learn about fishing techniques and new gear at our how-to page. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for new fishing videos every day. Simply search for Fox Sports Outdoors and click the like button on Facebook and follow button on Twitter. And watch a new episode every week on any device by downloading the free Waypoint TV app on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Motor Guide's new wireless and easy-to-use XI3. XI batteries, powering the world forward. Waypoint Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. And Strike King, designed by the pros, fished by you.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pros segment, where viewers get expert insights from professional insiders. This week's question comes from Mark, who asks, does painting the tips of soft plastics bright colors really increase the amount of bites? For the answer, we checked with Bassmaster elite angler Jacob Wheeler.
You know, that's a great question. You know, I've done that for years, and there's certain times I feel like it definitely does. I would say 60% of the time, you know, I'm gonna bring out, whether it's Spike It or JJ's Magic, you know, a chartreuse or an orange, but I felt like the biggest thing for me is when the crawdads are up there and they have those orange tips. So when I'm throwing a green pumpkin bait, I'll put an orange tip on the tip of my hammer craw or punch out craw, and I feel like I get a few more bites because of that more than anything. You hear a lot of people use the chartreuses and their bright colors, but the orange has gone a long way for me and helped me get a few more bites, and I really feel like that matters.
Thank you, Jacob. If you have something to ask one of the pros, simply visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now let's take a look at this week's Big Catch winner.
And here is this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. He's Bobby Gonzalez of Laredo, Texas, showing off an 11-pound largemouth bass he caught at Casablanca Lake in Texas. If you'd like to be our next winner, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Big Catch of the Week area on the right side of the front page, and follow the instructions to send us your big fish photo. You do need some specialized gear if you're going to do some of the long lining or the spider rigging that we did on Ross Barnett on this week's show. Begins with a good rod holder. You can see mine up there. That's a Be Ready, but there are several good ones. You need to be able to find those ledges and drop-offs and humps, and the Lowrance Elite TI does a great job of that at an affordable price. It'll do everything you need to do this style of fishing, and you can check those out at your local retailer as well. You'll need a specialized set of rods. This is the Lew's Wally Marshall Signature Series rod. It's a 12-footer. I also use a 14-footer. Spool it up with 6 or 8-pound test fluorocarbon or monofilament line. And I've got the Slab Daddy reel. That's the Mr. Crappie Slab Daddy reel rigged up on this rod to put in these rod holders. The baits I was using today are made by the Bobby Garland Bait Company. That's a Moglo jig head in a 1/24 ounce size and a Bobby Garland Stroll R plastic trailer on the back of it. Does a great job for this style of fishing. And one other thing you need is a long reach net. That's a Stowmaster. You really need a little bit longer style than the one I've got. They make several, but you need to be able to reach out on these long rods and grab those crappie from long distances. This week I've got a little tip for those of you who are married. When tough times come, and they will, you'll have at least 3 choices. Choice number 1, take the easy way out, split up, get a divorce. There are lots of negative consequences that come with that one. Choice number 2, hang in there, stay married, and be miserable for a long time. Never do any of the work to get along better. Just live a long time in a bad relationship. Not a good option either. Choice number 3, do the hard work, do what it takes to live a long, joyful, happy married life. And I can guarantee you that it is possible. It'll take a lot of work, possibly some professional counseling. I've had to have a little of that myself. No shame in that, but I can guarantee you this. I'm going to celebrate my 40th wedding anniversary with my wife this year. And if you'll do the hard work, the rewards are well worth it. Thanks for joining us this week from Ross Barnett Reservoir just outside Jackson, Mississippi. I hope you learned some techniques about long lining and spider rigging that will help you catch crappie on your home lake. Here are the guide contacts if you'd like to book a trip on this reservoir, but those techniques will also work where you live. Hey, don't forget to like us on our Facebook page for videos every day that you'll never see here on the television show, and follow us on our Twitter feed for those same fishing videos. From Mississippi, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.